All of us like a good story, whether we read it in a book, see it staged as a play, It's been said that every good story tells us many different things at the same time. How can a story tell us different things at one time? To understand how, let's look at and listen to some stories. A milkmaid was on her way to market with a pail of milk upon her head. As she walked along, she thought to herself, I will sell this milk at the market. With the money, I'll buy some eggs. When the eggs hatch, I'll have chickens. I'll sell the chickens, and then I'll buy myself a new dress. I'll wear it when I go to the fair. All the young men will fall madly in love with me, but I'll have nothing to do with them. With that, to dismiss her suitors, she tossed her head, and all the milk was spilled. Moral, don't count your chickens until they are hatched. What does this story tell us? First, it tells us about a girl who is daydreaming. Because she daydreams, she spills her pail of milk. What happens in a story, what the characters say and do, is called the plot. But this story tells us something in addition to the plot. It gives us a moral, a personal message about the right way to conduct ourselves. It says, don't count your chickens until they are hatched. Every story must have a plot. And although not every story has a moral, every story does contain a message of one kind or another. But some stories may have more than one message. Here's a story that seems to have more.
Nothing, dear. There's a unicorn in the garden, eating roses.
The unicorn is a mythical beast.
ate a lily.
You are a booby, and I am going to have you put in the booby hatch.
We'll see about that. But he has a golden horn in the middle of his forehead. Oh, unicorn.
Hello, hello. Give me the police.
Unicorn. Oh, unicorn.
I'm absolutely sure, officer, that you're going to need a straitjacket.
Here, unicorn.
Hello, Doctor. Doctor, if you only knew what I've been through this morning.
Now then, tell us all about it.
My husband saw a unicorn this morning. He told me it ate a lily. He told me it had a golden horn in the middle of its forehead. Now, see here! You can't!
Did you tell your wife you saw a unicorn this morning?
A unicorn is a mythical beast.
That's all I wanted to know. Take it away. I'm sorry, sir, but your wife is as crazy as a jaybird.
What does this story tell us? First, it recites a plot. It tells us what happened to a man who saw a unicorn. Second, like the Milkmaid story, it gives us a message in the form of a moral. The author, James Thurber, tells us not to count on anything before it happens. Maybe he's also saying, don't underrate your opponent. But what else does the story of the unicorn tell us? Are there any other messages in it? Is Mr. Thurber saying that man is at heart a romantic dreamer, a sentimental lover of flowers, and that woman is a hard, practical, realistic doer of deeds? Is Mr. Thurber also telling us that between man and woman there is eternal war, a war between the sexes, a war in which meek, mild, browbeaten, henpecked man is pitted against huge, aggressive, domineering woman? Is Mr. Thurber saying, the meek shall inherit the earth? Or is he suggesting that different people have different ways of looking at life? Does the unicorn symbolize beauty? Does the husband symbolize people who can see beauty in the world? And the wife, people who can't. In this story, of course, the forces of beauty win. Is the story, then, an attempt by Mr. Thurber to reveal to us something of the nature or meaning of life as he sees it? Or is it Mr. Thurber's ironic comment on what he feels is the usual outcome of the conflict between the romantic and the real? Let's look at the Western again. Does it tell us different things at one time? Certainly it has a plot, but does it also have a message? Does it say, perhaps, that good always conquers evil? Or that life itself is a constant conflict between... How about a crime story? What does it say? Is crime a paying proposition? What about a mystery story? What about an adventure story? Or any other story you've seen or read? By thinking about a story, by attempting to discover some of the different things it says, you can increase your own awareness of what any story has to offer. And by so doing, increase the knowledge and pleasure you get from it.